Yes. Sorry about the interruption. Just back to what we were saying about the meanness or the sort of mean-spiritedness of the way that people communicate with each other. We were sort of talking about that, and this woman was aghast at the things that she heard people say about Charlie Kirk after he was assassinated, and I was agreeing with her that that was very, very terrible. And we've talked about that on this channel as well. But that by the same token, I mean, the president of the United States is always, always calling people names and being really, really, really very mean-spirited about a lot of stuff every day in social media. And is not shy about saying when someone dies, well, I'm happy that they're dead. They're a terrible person, like he did with Robert Mueller. So, I mean, when you have the guy who's at the top of the pyramid, exhibiting this behavior, demonstrating this behavior, then how can you expect other people to behave any better? So she wasn't prepared to agree with me about that. I don't know what she thought was different about the way that Trump behaves and why that's, excusable, but she was. So it's just a big, old, crazy, hypocritical world out there. Fucking people, man.
Yeah. I mean, how does one talk with people, or not just talk with, carry on a conversation or a debate with people who hear what you are saying totally different from the way you're saying it and and from reality? How do you do that?
Yeah, it was really. I was pulling out all of my old head shrinker skills to navigate my way around that conversation, because it just seemed to me it was just, these are people that were convinced of things that are absolutely demonstrably not true, denying where they get all their information. And yeah, I mean, just like simple things like, I don't know, during class they're talking about inoculation or vaccines. I don't remember why that was, but in any case, they said, oh yeah, no, we had a really good friend who died from the COVID vaccine. I said, really? That's terrible. That they diagnosed that? I said, well, no, that's not what they said is cause of death, but we know. It's like, what do you do with that?
We're not letting facts get in the way of what we know.
No, it's like, how do you even respond to that other than just go, oh,
yeah, oh.
Interesting.
Oh, look at all that weather we're having. Oh my God, look at the weather.
Well, that's very terrible. That's really awful. I'm sorry to hear that. Because I mean, if you can't argue with them, because I don't know this guy, I don't know what the circumstances were, and they're absolutely determined that this was the truth. So this is how they do it, So they plant seeds to make people feel that they plant a seed that is absolutely false. Like, kids are, identifying as cats and demanding their litter boxes in, the bathrooms. The people who wrote that knew it was wrong. They knew it wasn't true. They knew that it was absolutely outrageous, but they said it anyway, because they know that despite it being completely disproven, there are going to be a whole lot of people out there that are going to say, yeah, but, do you remember this, back in the day, these woke people were demanding that kids had the opportunity to shit in a litter box because they identified as cats. And you can't fight with, the lies and the cheats. If I were running James Talarico's campaign for Senate, I would put out, a wonderful commercial that has all of the talking heads saying he's, low T Tallarico, he's a vegan, he's a, transgender vegan, low testosterone pussy man, whatever else, and just say, these people say these outrageous things because they think you're stupid. We know you're not stupid. Vote for Tallarico. I mean, that's what I would do. I would just call them out. I would just call them out, because if you shame them, yeah, there'll be some fight back. But, in general, people don't want to be seen as being stupid. And if you could prove to them that what it is that they believe is not correct, or make them understand that this is like obviously so beyond the pale that only a really, really dim-witted person would believe it, I think that you're going to either make people stay at home, or maybe have a few of them start to say, maybe I might be wrong. I don't know.
It is. It gets harder and harder, at least for me, each day, to have any optimism about the future of the country. And I mean, granted, I am a pessimist by nature, if not by choice, but I can imagine optimism, and I can even remember some in the past.
Mhm.
But these days, mainly, I mean, because of what we're saying here, if people bring it down to just a family. What if nobody in the family speaks to each other because they can't agree? Not only can they not agree on anything, but they can't agree on how to talk to each other. They can't agree that they will believe what the other person has to say, that the other person is being genuine and honest, and that there actually such a thing as facts. Well, expand that to the whole country. It makes it just so difficult for me to be, optimistic, and even minimally optimistic.
I'm I'm usually I'm certainly more optimistic, I think, than you are.
Oh, yes.
One of the things that keeps me up at night right now is the Iran war, and what's going to happen, how this ends, and what happens moving forward. And I got to tell you, I can't imagine that Trump is going to be able to get out of this without nuking somebody. I mean, he's so humiliated, and he's not winning, and they are spending $1 gazillion, and the midterms are coming, and prices are going up and up and up. And I mean, he's out of control. He doesn't have an exit plan. He didn't think about any of this, and he's fired all of the generals that would have been able to give him some kind of insight and help him make a plan. So, I don't see how this ends without him using nuclear weapons.
Mm.
He doesn't care that he's actively, perpetrating war crimes. He doesn't care. No. He's certainly not going to be concerned about the Hague. He's not going to be concerned about any of these things, and he's just going to lie. No, he doesn't even recognize it. He's just going to lie in front of the cameras all the time and say that they're winning. But when clearly the American people see that they're not, because prices aren't coming down, and oil's not moving. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's what I'm afraid of right now.
That's a big fear.
It's a huge fear.
That's a damn big fear.
I mean, I remember being, a kid in the middle of the Cold War and really, really, really fearing nuclear annihilation. I mean, I've feared that in the 70s. I really did.
Same here. Same here.
Mm-hmm. But somehow we managed to, step back from the brink and not let that happen. But I don't see the same maturity, in leadership around the world as we have today, or as we had back then, I should say.
No.
I just don't see it. And, Trump is unhinged, and no one's stopping him from doing unhinged things. So, yeah, I'm with you. I don't see where the country's going, and I don't see how it survives this. So there, the
Aren't
end.
we a cheerful little bunch today?
Mhm.
But there's not a whole lot to be cheerful about unless maybe wonderful cats roaming around, and a few other things. So,
Mhm. So, the big 250th anniversary of the founding of America, right? So,
well, at least we'll have our $250 bills.
oh yeah, so yeah, I'll never have one. I'll never have one. Who knew that there was a $250 bill? I guess there isn't one, right? They're doing one because it's 250th anniversary.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, why didn't they do one for $17.76?
Right.
No, and to see the Treasury Secretary defend it, that was hysterical.
What a piece of shit.
That was absolutely hysterical.
That guy is such a creep. I mean, he gets on the Sunday talk shows and he just has this bizarre grin. He's talking about death and destruction, economic collapse. And he's got this weird grin on his face. And he knows nothing.
What about the guy's the head of the Council of Economic Advisors? I think he's in the cabinet. He's on TV all the time. I've gotten to the point where I have to at least mute him because he never, ever, ever stops smiling. And I don't trust anyone who smiles all the time. I mean, this guy.
You're not talking about Scott Bessent?
No. What is his name? I think he's the head of the Council of Economic Advisors, I think. But he's on all the time. He's on Sunday morning. He was on the news yesterday. Everything is rosy. Everything is rosy. Everything is rosy.
All evidence to the contrary.
All those prices at Walmart. Yeah. The fake news, fake prices.
Yeah. So it's a mess.
So what are we going to talk about when Trump dies or when he gets ejected, if he does get ejected from the White House? Like, wow. There will be a sigh of relief heard from one end of the cosmos to the other. If we're still here, not smoking human.
Yeah, it wouldn't. I wouldn't put it past him to, scorch the earth as he's heading off into the sunset.
Yeah, just like the Ring trilogy, the Götterdämmerung, where the gods just pull down heaven and earth at the end, and that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
You guys lose.
Yeah. So where are we going to move New Orleans, for crying out loud?
Well, I think again, for me, I don't know where you could. And again, something that might be, a glimmer of hope is that it's possible, I guess, that we could, innovate our way out of this. I know that that's what the plan is. That's why, we're not focusing on alternative energies. That's why we're not focusing on, stopping the climate change and all of these other things, because we're just waiting for Elon Musk and his buddies to find a way to either let us all move to Mars. Well, it won't be all of us. It'll just be the 0.1 1%, which I'm happy. It's like, fuck off, you guys, go.
Please, we'll help you pack.
We'll help you pack.
God, yes. God, yes.
But yeah, we'll innovate our way out of it. We don't want to talk about it. We're not going to do anything to solve it right now because, we're busy doing these other stupid things.
Have you heard about, well, I don't know if you've been watching the national news. Have you heard about this study on the national news? The study that shows, that New Orleans has got to relocate.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I read it first I want to say I read it in The Guardian.
Yeah, okay. I didn't read it, but online, it's The Guardian is online. Yeah. I haven't heard a word about it, like on the national news in the last week. Not a word. And I mean, that's NBC that I watch, but I haven't heard a word about it. I think most people, when they hear about it, if they hear about it, it'll be, I'll miss Mardi Gras so bad. Oh gosh, I'll miss Bourbon. Oh, I love the Garden District, but they're not going to be thinking about the all of the petrochemical, all of the oil industry being underwater too, which is what powers your car.
Well, and again, if it's also stupid. I mean, had America been with the program, and I blame Democrats for this shit too, because they didn't codify anything. They just went, no, we're going to play fair because that's who we are. We want to be fair all the time. It's like, lead, lead. If you have the courage of your convictions, fucking codify this shit. Anyway, of course, if we had been putting more money, time, and energy into alternative resources of energy, then we wouldn't be so affected by the Strait of Hormuz being blockaded by the Iranians, and we would not have to really be concerned about the price of gas going sky high because more people would be driving electric cars. We wouldn't be, as reliant on fossil fuels. All of this stuff would be different. But we can't see in front of our noses when it comes to anticipating problems and solving them now for the long term. It's not the way that the politics are structured here.
No, thinking 5 years ahead is practically impossible, much less 30 or whatever.
It's exactly right. So, but I don't think you can move New Orleans.
No, I think it's, no one wants to admit that, and no one wants to be the first to stand up in front of cameras and say that. Nobody wants to do that, whether it's a local or a state person or a national leader. But it's, there's how many men, how many people? And there's 360,000 in the city, but that doesn't include, if it's gonna, 60 some miles that the Gulf will encroach, 60 some miles. Well, won't that be the North Shore too?
It will be. It'll be north. It'll be all the way up to like Picayune.
Yeah.
I think it just goes away. I think the people leave. I think the industry leaves, and I think that because you can't move the houses. You can't move. I suppose you can, but who's going to pay for all that? It costs to move a home. It's like tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
We're going to be like
depending on what kind.
We're going to be like Pompeii.
Yeah, exactly. We'll just be. I remember that. Go diving.
Oh, that'll be sad. That'll be sad. I will be sad. I will be long dead before that. However, but like they're saying, not that we have to begin thinking about doing it. The study says it has to begun now.
It has to have begun 10 years ago.
Yeah. So, which means even if even if the will were there, there's not a way. It's, wow. Oh, well.
I remember after Katrina, the state sent a whole bunch of engineers to the Netherlands to study how cultures have for centuries dealt with being below sea level. And I mean, I don't know. There's got to be ways to hold back the Gulf or to reinforce land or to stop the river from changing course. I mean, there's got to be ways to do this. Wouldn't you think?
Well, as we were talking about earlier, Mother Nature will have her way. They're saying what, how many feet? 20 to 30 feet rise by the end of the century? 30 feet. That's pretty high.
That's way over
Yep.
our house.
Yeah.
I mean, we're at 19 feet above sea level, which is pretty high for New Orleans.
It is. It really. I didn't know we were that high.
Yeah, right. This house right here.
19. Okay.
So, but still, 30 feet is higher than that.
Yeah. Yep.
So
visit New Orleans while you can. Don't put off that trip.
Absolutely.
Do not put
see
off
it
that
while
trip.
it's here. Let's see it while it's here. I suppose we could, put the house on, I don't know, like stilts or something. But then we'd be the only ones here.
Exactly.
And we come and go with a pirogue, I guess. Or
Oh
a
God,
canoe.
yes. God.
Yeah. It's
Anyway,
crazy.
book your flights now. Book your flights
It's a
now.
great B&B down here. You stay with me.
The weather's for shit, but
Oh, I love the
Oh,
weather.
that's right. She does like the weather. Yeah.
Steve's always complaining about the weather. I love the weather.
He only complains all the time. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I can't deny it. I mean, you all know by now I hate this weather,
See,
except from about the middle of December to the end of February. That's about the only good weather.
you should have been born and raised in Canada.
I should have been born and raised anywhere but this hole. No offense to this hole, but I didn't have a choice in the matter.
That's true.
And I've been without air conditioning for 3 nights and 3.5 days. So, but now I got it back today. So,
did you crank it down to like 68 degrees?
yes, I did. Yes, I did. But now I put it back up. It's back up now to 74.
That's a reasonable.
74. And when I go home, if I turn on the fan, which is right next to me, it's nice and toasty cool. Nice.
Perfect. Yes. So there you go.
Yes.
New Orleans is sinking.
New Orleans is
Nothing we can do
sinking.
about it.
May or may not be an impeachment,
I hope that there will be.
Oh, but God, just let them take the House. Let them take the House, please.
I just really need the Democrats to start, to do 2 things. One, to start running somebody in every district, regardless of if it's deep red or not. There are Democrats all over the country. Give them somebody to vote for, And I don't want to hear any more mealy-mouthed, oh, we want to be, represented for everybody. Fuck that shit. You know what? Set your platforms and push your agenda through. That's what you got to do. That's what these guys are doing. That's what and the rest of us have to suffer through it. And it's horseshit.
Play hard and nasty and win, and then you can be nice. Be nice after you win.
No. Don't be nice after you win.
Well, don't be nice after you win. Okay.
Continue to stay the course after you win. And punish these guys.
Yeah.
Hold them to account because, if they get away with all of this, trust me, this is the reason why Trump is. Oh, there's Remus there. This is the reason why Trump is doing what he's doing now, is because nobody held him to account when they had the chance. So You're gonna have to.
Remus.
You're gonna have to do it because if you don't, then trust me, you think he's being
Here he
a
comes. Here he
Yeah.
comes. Hey, buddy.
hello, sweetie.
No, I can't. I'm just imagining seeing Hegseth walked off in bracelets to a 15-year prison term.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I could react to that. I mean, I don't have enough bubbliness in my nature to get through that. I just wow, that would be so wonderful.
And Trump still has to be held accountable for trying to start an insurrection. He has to be held accountable for stealing classified information and doing Christ knows what with it, because we don't know what he did with it.
Exactly.
He still has to be held accountable for those things. Not the least of which are all the brand new crimes that that he's committed in his second term. Not the least of which is, double dealing and, enriching himself,
Did you hear this
market
the
manipulation.
number that when he came into office, his net worth was a little over 2 million. Now it's a little over a billion. Now it's a little over 6 billion.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not more. But
That's not on his salary.
no, he's not doing that
That's
on
not
his
on his
salary. Oh, but
salary.
you know what? And this is another thing. They say, well, he's not even taking a salary. No, he's not taking a salary. It's a pittance, $250,000 a year or some shit, right? No, he's not taking a salary because he couldn't give a shit about that salary. He wants to do things where he's going to make all of the money, and all of his friends will make all the money, so they will support him and his corrupt freaking administration and his bullshit policies. I can't believe that people are okay with this whole, manipulating the stock market by coming out and saying in a tweet, "Oh, well, we're this close to, to signing a peace deal," and the Iranians are going, "What the fuck you talking about? We're not even talking right now," And then so the markets go up, he cashes in, or he famously recently he bought like $1 million worth of some computer stock, Dell, I think it was, and then came out and told everybody, go buy a Dell computer. He's the fucking president of the United States. How the hell is that ethical? How is that not, insider trading? And when he knows he's going to say things, or he's going to pass legislation, or he's going to do specific stuff, from his bully pulpit that is going to artificially inflate certain stocks. I mean, he buys this shit. They were talking about this on NPR yesterday about, all the enormous number of stock trades that he does.
It was on
The
the
Trump
news
family,
yesterday.
it's enormous. He's just a thief. He's just a thief.
Mhm.
And he's using the presidency to make way with enormous, filthy amounts of money.
And his buddies are doing the same.
They are. They're all doing the same. And they had the audacity to send, Martha Stewart away for however many years for nothing remotely close to what they're doing. And everybody's just okay with it.
But don't forget to tune into the fight. Don't forget it.
The fight. And I understand they're losing all their musicians.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah,
because they duped them into, they have to actually dupe them into agreeing to come and play for this stupid thing. And then when people realize, oh, fuck, this is for Trump. Oh, no, I'm not doing this. No. It's like, can you imagine that you're such a pariah that, being asked to come and play for the president of the United States is something you have to lie to people about to get them to agree to do it? Imagine being such a pariah.
There was a time.
God.
There was a time, and I know this will be offensive to many folks out there. Well, do forgive me, but I mean, could he be any more white trash? A wrestling event, or whatever, I mean.
Ultimate fighting challenge.
White trash. I'm sorry. There are other words for it, but that's my favorite word for it. White trash.
It kind of, it sort of represents what America is right now.
Totally.
Like two guys beating the snot out of each other for the entertainment of other people.
Mhm.
I mean, how caveman is that?
I want to see Tallarico get there and get in there and do that.
Get in the
Little
cage,
sissy boy, you
Tallarico.
know.
Low T
Shit.
Tal. Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh goodness!
Oh, my God.
If Tallarico wins, that would be so.
That will be great. I gotta tell you, that's gonna
Um,
that could happen
a
because
cracker, yes, it could.
you know there's tons and tons of Californians have been moving into Texas, into particularly Austin, for a long time now.
And the Latinos supposedly are no longer enamored of that piece of foolishness.
I mean, you know, all of the you know the horrifying ICE raids and the complete and there's another whole bunch of assholes that need to go to jail, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Oh
and
God, yes.
you know, everybody who is involved in these for-profit prisons, these for-profit detention centers, who are just making off like bandits. I mean, where does anybody get the idea that that's okay?
Did you see? Did you see PBS last night?
I didn't.
They interviewed.
I was at a white liquor tasting at Total Wine. Oh my God, it was crazy.
A Muslim woman who was, I think she said, was in a year, detainment for a year. And because of poor food, poor medical attention,
For sanitation, apparently.
sanitation, she had, for the first time in her life, a seizure, and she is now, I don't remember exactly, her whole health has changed. I mean, she's, not only has she had a seizure, she's had more, and apparently, she kept saying, you know, she can't be alone anymore. She can't be alone because she doesn't know when she's going to have her next seizure and be alone and die because there's no one to help her. That was a direct result, she says, of the 1 year.
Being unlawfully detained. Was she unlawfully detained?
I don't know. I didn't see the very beginning. I don't remember. But even if she were unlawfully detained, that shouldn't make a difference.
It should not. But the conditions of a lot of these for-profit prisons are absolutely hideous. Like they're inhumane.
Yes.
It's like this is a third world country.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it kind of is. We're sliding towards that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here's a question. Do you think the midterms, one, are going to happen? And two, if they do happen, that they will be free and fair?
I think they'll happen. And I think they'll happen. I have no idea whether it'll be free and fair.
I mean, truthfully, they're already not, with all of the, the partisan gerrymandering.
Right.
So they're already not free or fair. So
I don't know. I forget which copy of the Atlantic it was. One of the first ones, this dear sweet woman gave me a subscription for my last birthday for the Atlantic, and it would have to have been December or January, probably. The issue was all about that. The main article was, are they going to be free and fair? Are they going to be held? Are they going to be free and fair? And they came up with 6, 7, or 8 scenarios. I forget exactly how many, of what the Trumpians could do in order to screw with the elections.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, no,
and none of them sound far-fetched. I mean, they really don't. Maybe they might have found it far-fetched 10 years ago, but they don't anymore. You know, they don't anymore.
Can you imagine that your policies are so unpopular and you're so reviled that you have to cheat any way that you can just to stay in power?
Yeah.
Shocking to me. Shocking.
Yeah.
Republicans, shake this shit off. I mean, come on. Come up with some things that are actually going to be good for the country, good for people, and stop being so goddamn mean. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with you people? Take some X-Lax. Get that crap out of you. I mean, sincerely.
I have never asked my dear friends, whom I've mentioned on here many times, again, oldest friends in the city, just about Trumpians to the heart, to the core. I've never asked them, what has Trump done for you? What from the immigration to the war, what has he done for you that makes you absolutely total blind followers? I know these people. I've known them for 40 years. I know their business, their work, their business, their families. I know them very well. I can't think of a damn thing that man has done for them in the last 4, 6, 8 years, whatever. I can't. And I haven't, like I said, I have not asked him that because I just want to stay friends with him. But God, I'd love to have the balls to ask him that. Yeah.
I'm sure that they wouldn't be able to tell you. Or they would say something like, well, he's stopped all the, illegal people coming into the country, which doesn't affect them at all.
Not in the least. I almost gave away the name there. I said, Mr. X, that doesn't affect your business one little bit. One little bit. Mm-hmm. It really doesn't. And Mrs. X, no, doesn't affect you. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And I would venture to guess that they are negatively affected. I mean, unless they're part of the 1%.
Oh, they're not.
Yeah, so I mean,
they're not.
Yeah, the point being is that it's actually much, much harder. Health insurance is more expensive. Everything is more expensive. Everything's just harder to do.
And we're talking here. Okay, don't want to give it way too many hints. Let's putting it mildly. I'm talking here about not a small family. I'm talking big family. One of the pillars of the tax base for Jefferson Parish. I mean, I can only imagine what they face when they go to Walmart or wherever it is, Walmart or whatever to shop. It scares me to think about it, Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Not to mention, I'll stop there. But yeah, no. One day, maybe I will have the nerve to ask them, and maybe after he's out, then I can ask him that. Mm-hmm. Tell me what he did for you. I want to write it down.
It's fascinating having conversations. It stuck with me because I haven't had a conversation with Trumpies in such a long time, and they were really complaining that, God damn, you can't say anything anymore. People just jump down your throat,
Gee, I wonder where that started. At 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue?
No, they just couldn't hear it.
No.
And one of the gentlemen was saying another example that he talked about. He apparently is part of a bike club, a senior citizen bike club, and he said they're biking along, and then they're sitting down and having their sandwich or their protein shake or whatever, and they were just having a casual conversation. And one guy was talking about someone running for mayor in a different state that is Muslim. And he said, oh yeah, that's like, the mayor of New York, who's also Muslim. And somebody else in the group said, what's wrong with being Muslim? But the way that he said it, it was like they were really, really, really aggressive about it. And, like, what's wrong with being Muslim? Sort of thing. And he took great offense to that. I said, well, it's obviously not cool to be really aggressive about stuff like that. But can you imagine that from their perspective, maybe they were thinking, because the thing that you had in common with those two, it wasn't about being a mayor or a mayoral candidate, it was about being Muslim. That was the important part of that conversation. And that they might have thought that you had thoughts about, Muslims that were not positive. Well, I didn't. Okay, but can you see that they might have interpreted it that way? It's just that it moves on, but they just cannot, they can't ever acknowledge, a flaw. They're like Trump. They just do that. You just double down, double down.
So,
And you have no responsibility.
Incapable of admitting that he's wrong. Absolutely incapable.
It's just exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And therein, for me, lies the basis or the seed of the pessimism, because it's
that there's so many of them.
Enough to get him elected twice.
Yeah.
Yes. And if I mean, I honestly can't remember very well, but the debate with Trump and Hillary.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the man was like a prowling tiger or something. That he was just. How do you have a debate with someone like that? It's almost impossible.
Well, especially if they're just lying. They're just saying things that, like when he debated Kamala Harris, and it's like they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the pets. Like, and she laughed, and it's like, no, they're not. But he insists, and he's just a big boy. No, they are. They're doing it. They can prove it to you, but of course he can't. I don't know. I want to see the news outlets that lie. I want to see some legislation about that too. That the news outlets have to have, in order to get a CRTC license, that they have to have some fucking integrity, and that they have to go back to the fairness doctrine. Don't punish them if they just lie. Punish them if they spin things in such a way that it basically makes them false. And go back to the fairness doctrine, where you've got to show both sides of the story and all angles, and make it absolutely objective and fucking true. And if they make a mistake, they have to go back and retract it. Let's go back to that. I would like to see that. And, because if you want Wild West style news, you have the entire internet to get that from. Right. But if it's like the nightly news, the national news, the local news, I think that those are things that have to be kept sacred. You got to keep them clean and objective and not partisan. Simply, and get rid of fucking partisan gerrymandering. It's cheating. It's cheating. How can anybody not agree that it is fucking cheating?
It's as obvious as can be to anyone who's honest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We'll see. I would like to hope, although it is Texas, and Texas is, but I would like to hope that that the gerrymander that they did might backfire on them. It's possible. It's possible.
It is. Yeah, I've seen one discussion about that on TV, the pointing out of the 5 districts that they played around with, that at least 1, maybe 2, were by no means a given, a given victory for them, by no means.
And then in order to do it, they had to water down several Republican strongholds.
Right.
So
yeah,
I don't know.
I can't wait. Well, I can say it now. I can't wait for election night. I cannot wait.
We will be here.
Oh God,
we will be doing it. We will be
here. I will be here. Oh my God! Wow. Yes.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Wow.
I hope it's a bloodbath.
It's either going to be great or awful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. If it's awful, I don't know.
Yeah.
Time to start looking for real estate in Canada.
Yeah, I know you, lucky person, have that. Yes, I used to think of wanting to go back to Austria, but I don't know. Europe's got its own problems.
It does.
It really does. And Austria is not the Austria I used to like.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, in Germany,
It's got problems too.
yeah.
Yeah.
And France, you couldn't. I would throw myself under a truck before I moved to France. Good
Never
God.
been. I've never been.
Been once, don't ever need to go back.
Oh, you didn't
Nope.
like France?
Didn't like France. I didn't like Paris.
Okay.
I know that Paris is not France, but the Parisians think it is. Anyway, no, France holds no allure, and that's where most of my genes, or a huge amount, holds no allure whatsoever. And
I didn't know that.
Greece is such a fucked up country. I mean, going from Sophocles to the idiots that run it now. I guess I'm stuck here.
Well, I mean, ultimately, we luckily are in the groups of people that are not going to be horribly affected by the dissolution of this country. You know, I mean, we're of an age,
That's right.
for
Yeah.
starters. I mean, I'm well past childbearing years. Both retired. I mean, my business is probably going to go for shit because I've been working in hospitality. People are going to stop traveling. I mean, already we've seen, we're not getting the Europeans that we used to. We haven't. I mean, we got
saw an article in the paper about that that it's dropped
enormously so.
Yeah.
Enormously so. Yeah, and yeah.
People are figuring out they can live without seeing the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
They can actually live without that.
Mhm.
I have to die in 8 years because I know. Don't take it really. In 8 years, one of my sources of income will disappear. No need for details. So I got 8 years left. It's not
Yeah.
a prediction of my demise. It's simply a statement of.
It's sobering.
It's sobering, yes. And I will be 85. I will effing be ready to go. Thank you. Thank you.
You
Thank
don't know that. You don't know that.
I can't know it in the sense of know it, but I know it. I know it in my toenail. I know it in my toes. I know it in my gut.
Well, I don't know. I don't have a prediction about how I'm going to feel or not feel, but as the Chinese curse goes, may you live in interesting times. We're certainly doing that.
Could these get any more
And it
interesting?
feels like a curse to me. It feels like a curse.
Yes, could it be more interesting, my lord? For the good old, not to say this literally, but for the good old 50s, where granted, we weren't living in a.
Jeez,
I know, we
50s.
weren't living in a real world, but my God, it was not this one, Lord. It wasn't
Good
this
for
one.
white men.
Well,
Really not good for anybody else.
I know, but I was a white man then too, and I'm just saying, I'm tired of these interesting times, tired of these interesting times. I really am tired of them.
Well, and on that note,
On that happy note.
we had a great conversation on Tuesday, though. Would you not agree? We ended up with the topic in the philosophy class is courtesy dead? And that seems like a really, really fluffy topic on its surface, but man, we got right into it, and it was a rousing conversation. Yeah, it was delightful.
It was. I was prepared to nod off, but did not. No, it was quite fun. It was fun.
Absolutely. So if you have any topics that you think that we might like to discuss at next month's the June Philosophy Club, which happens on the last Tuesday of the month. We will be happy to hear about it. So if you have any comments or you'd like to chime in, like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. À la prochaine.
À tout à l'heure.